the scariest thing is being exactly who you are by yourself in front of everybody, because we have this social norms and what you should do, what you shouldn't do, or examples of what somebody who is successful looks like, or we have people that we model that we want to be more like because someone's more extroverted or more thoughtful, more outspoken than us. At least I find a lot of inspiration from people that do that. They're very outspoken. I wish I had more of that. And it's like we all possess these things, but it's like we haven't done them in so long that it feels foreign. Or when you do speak up, it usually comes out at a time where it's absolutely necessary. But most of the times we kind of mute ourselves and not say nothing at all. And I'm not going to lie. No matter if you do some good, bad, not so great, superb, you're going to get judged regardless. So you might as well go out there, balls to the wall, and just be exactly who you are, right? And the thing with that, a lot of the fear comes from, okay, what if, at least for me, I'm going to speak for myself, what if the way that I act, that I should be acting, which is myself, right? Instead of wearing the mask that I wear in social situation at times. What if that version of me is the version, like being myself, will prevent me from keeping the friends that I have now? Maybe some of you guys have this concern, like, oh man, if I'm myself, I don't know how my friends that I have now are going to react. Will they even still like me, this, that, and the third? And that's a scary thought, I'm not going to lie. I might cough here and there because I got a little something going on, you know what I'm saying? I know what's going on around, but it's around, it's here. Shit. But yeah, it's a scary thought because we don't want to lose the relationships that we have. It's always a painful thing. I feel like losing a friendship is way more intense than, breaking up with your significant other and things of that nature. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't see eye to eye on that, but I feel like losing a friend is a lot more painful, especially when it's at the price of being yourself or starting to put your foot down. Well, not even put your foot down. It's more of like you standing who you are and being loud about it, right? Because a lot of us, we tend to only show specific parts of ourselves because we think it's acceptable, right? Maybe it's something in the past where we try to expose certain needs or boundaries and we got ridiculed for it, or you got punished or whatever, Maybe you grew up in a household where wherever you try to state your needs or say, hey, I want this done, I want to do this, or you try to express yourself, like by getting your ears pierced or wearing a specific type of clothes or talking a certain way or indulging in different hobbies, and your parents is like, why are you doing that? Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? You never got the opportunity to express yourself. So now you're in this adult body, but you're still carrying those childhood thoughts or beliefs. So it's like you're like a child. You still got the child in you, but you're walking around in an adult body. So sometimes that version of you jumps in as well in certain situations where it's like, if a friend is talking about something you disagree with, you would say, yeah, I think that's a great idea. But instead of saying no, you're like, yeah, because in the past when you said no, you would got the odd look or you was withheld affection or something negative happened. So you don't want to be that person anymore, right? But it's like when you do that, and I've come to realize this, right? And I know this, I've known this, but it takes a lot of courage to get out and actually do these acts, because it's different when you can acknowledge that it's happening and know what you should do and actually doing it, right? Like you can hear advice all day, you can read 1,000 self-help books or, get advice from a lot of people, but if you don't perform the act, nothing will ever change, right? So doing the act of, standing up for yourself can be a very scary thing. And that will allow you to really see who's for you. Like when I say for you, I mean people who belong in your life and complements your life, because life is a journey. Life goes quick, right? I am 27 now. I was just 13 yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I could still move and, do a flip on command. You know what I'm saying? But I'm well aware that there will be a point in time where probably I won't be able to do a flip on command. And then it's kind of bringing me around full circle like, man, we got one shot at this thing, For those who do not believe in certain things, reincarnation, yeah, I'm not really talking in that regard. But in this life particularly, we have one shot, and it can go by so fast. So it's better if we just be who we are, right? And with that, you start to see the opportunities that are for you and those that are not for you, right? Now, if you are a shitty person and that's who you are, that's different. You're gonna have to change, right? And that could be the like contradiction of, oh, just be yourself, right? Sometimes being yourself is not the ideal way that you should be for what you want in your life, right? Because you could be in your own way. I'm not saying based on society standards, right? They have the standards are there. Obviously, we have to abide by them to a certain degree, but you also got to incorporate what it is that you want for your life too, right? And if you're fundamentally a shitty human being and you're just being yourself, which is an asshole, then obviously that's not who I'm not talking about in that regard. I'm talking about for people who are not as assertive, or they don't want to ruffle people's feathers, they avoid conflict, that kind of crowd. Or play small just so that they don't be seen and try to make everybody feel good, just like a back rubber, you know what I'm saying? People pleasing, in short. I feel like a lot of us need to build back that courage of like standing up for ourselves and being like, hey, this is me. And whatever that means or whatever that comes with being me is what it is, right? Because fundamentally you're a good person. But I feel like you could walk around feeling like you're not adequate because of the childhood experiences that you have, right? It's not one of those things where you could just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm going to be myself. It's not like that, right? The reason why it's difficult for people to just flip a switch like that is because, or be confident, is because confidence is a result of positive reinforcement. Right? The other part, if you're just confident just because, it's probably coming from other things that you know you're good at and it trickles over, like it goes over, right? It's transferable, that's the word that I'm looking for, right? But if I go on the basketball court right now and I'm acting confident and I know I ain't got no jumper, I'm delusional. Missing every shot, I'm Delulu, right? Oh yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best at basketball. No, the fuck you not. Why you lying, right? So there's confidence and delusional, right? And god damn, shit, I thought this cough went away. I felt great. Now I'm talking. It's coming back. I apologize. I'm not editing this video. But I hate when people just be like, hey, just be confident. There's a reason why people have gotten to the point where they lost their self-esteem or their self-esteem is low. They didn't ask for the experiences that they got. They didn't ask to be bullied. They didn't ask to look the way that they looked. They didn't ask to experience the being in an unfortunate family where their parents weren't around. And whenever they bring up their needs, it's not being met, or the parent made it seem like it's too much of a task, a burden. They didn't ask for any of those experiences, right? So when you grow up and then you see, oh, wow, why is this person like this? It's because of what they've gone through in their life. They can't just flip a switch and be like, I'm going to be more confident today. It just doesn't happen. They need to rewire their brain and understand what they experience is not their fault, right? And then there's going to be people that says, oh, the way that you lived in your past life is you chose your family and this, that, and the third. I'm not too knowledgeable in that aspect. If there's some degree of truth in that, cool. I'd like to learn more about it. But again, if we're talking about from a logical standpoint, it's not their fault. They weren't given the tools to be able to maneuver around that situation when they were given that problem, and then they had to figure it out by themselves. And sometimes people can come out of that rut, and sometimes they carry it over to their adult lives, right? And then you have people walking around who are extremely timid. They don't have assertive energy, or they're just like super agreeable, right? Me, for example. But I've gotten better and better with voicing my opinions, my thoughts out loud. And it makes people uncomfortable. And that's okay. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me extremely uncomfortable when I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. But it's like the more that I exercise that muscle, the bigger it grows, and it's easier for me to do it next time, right? And I'm not just going around here saying, hey, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, I'm not over here trying to practice on people, right? It's got to make sense. Unfortunately, I've been given a lot of opportunities to exercise when I disagree, right? And don't run away from conflicts or conversations that you need to have, right? If anything, they give you more clarity on things that that should be done, or it can help both parties as well, right? You spare the other person time and give them understanding sometimes. And you get it out your chest. You get that weight off your chest. I know what it's like walking around with that feeling in your chest, which is like, not chest, your neck, where it's just like super tight, and you want to say something, but you can't say it because you don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers. You want to keep the peace. But it's like sometimes, that statement or whatever you got to say can be the thing that, triggers a thought or makes somebody think differently, like offer another perspective, right? Don't be concerned about being right, wrong, whatever. Just say what you have to say, right? Obviously try to do it in a respectable manner, but I think the goal here is just to say what you have to say, right? The more you shut yourself down and not say anything at all, the less you will have the ability to be able to socialize at all. Because I think a big part of like why people feel weird when they're socializing at events or just with people they don't know is that, at least for me, there's like you feel like you need to please or agree with whatever they saying. Like, if this person likes building houses and they're into sitcoms, and you're like, okay, sitcoms is cool. What you watch, all right? I'm more of an anime head, right? The old me would be like, oh yeah, I like sitcoms too. I would never bring up the anime thing because shame, right? Anime is more accepted now, but that's just to make the point that it's okay to have different, hobbies. If somebody's gonna judge you for that, they don't need to be your friend, right? You don't need to be with them. And again, it is a way to like weed out the bad or things that are not for you. Because it's not bad. They're just not for you, right? And that's okay, right? That's why there's different career fields. That's why there's different people. That's why there's a lot of differences out here. And that's okay, right? There's different religions, different political views, right? That's okay. Different beliefs all around. But with that being said, I say this to say, there's a big price of being vulnerable, and it's like a double-edged sword, right? People can see you for who you are and appreciate that because they can see your edges, right? And then the other side is that you can be exposed to more pain, especially if you're new to this, because you may lose a lot of friends as a result of being dishonest this whole time, right? Like, say if you was more, if you was like a super happy-go-lucky kind of person, but all of a sudden that was like an act the entire 10 years, the last 10 years of your life, but you were scared to be yourself because you don't want to lose your friends that you have now, right? Some friends will accept that. Some friends not so much. I feel like they'll be okay with that, right? And if not, the world is vast, right? Just don't be afraid to make those new connections, right? Thankfully, I have the ability to dance. It's a really good way to make friends and just meet new people in general, right? Sometimes I go to events by myself and I go dance and I meet people. I get their contact and I'll be like, hey, whenever you're doing something, let me know. That's it. That is the easiest thing, something like to connect with somebody. You have a good time. You don't have to be the best dancer. You don't gotta be doing backflips off the wall. But you're having a good time at a party. Somebody walks up to you. They're like, "Oh my God, I like your vibe. You're amazing." Boom, 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 bow. Right? Be like, "Appreciate it." Like the outfit. Compliment them back. Whatever. Right? Be like, "Oh, let's exchange information, man. How long we been?" Spark small talk. You know what I mean? And then get the information and be like, "Hey, don't be a stranger. Let me know when you go outside. Yeah. Let's hang." You know? And that's how you meet people. Well, that's worked for me. If you have hobbies or something that you want to pick up a new hobby, that's another way. I feel like hobbies are a gateway to like socialize and expanding your reach. And it'll be a good gateway to introduce yourself to new social situations, right? Or events that you've just never experienced before. So just be more open-minded in that aspect. Been doing a lot of random stuff too. But yeah, being vulnerable is not easy, but it is worth it. I can say that for sure. I'm not saying going around saying the most outlandish shit, but try to be as honest as you can when you have these social situations, and be respectable about it. As long as that goes, as long as you keep those two intact, I think you'll be fine. But with that being said, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check the fit. Hold on. Yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, stay awesome. Y'all let me know if y'all want more reaction videos. I don't know, more talking head videos. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. I don't feel any pressure to post on YouTube. And I'm just going with the flow, right? If something new happens, I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of things that I'm working on, right? Drinking this tea right now. Stay hydrated, stay teed up. Yeah, but y'all have a good one. Let me know y'all thoughts on this topic. And yeah, follow the Instagram. Instagram is in the description. Yeah.